Alright guys, today's goal, the learner will master factoring special product polynomials. Okay, so hopefully you guys remember using these to multiply out. Now, the first two are not as big of a deal to remember for factoring, but the third one is a huge deal. Okay? So you need to recognize this. The difference of two perfect squares. That's what that is. Okay? So I look at the first example. Well, the first thing I see is both of those are divisible by 4, so I'm going to factor out a 4. Now, is 1 a perfect square? Because I'm looking at 1y squared minus 16. Is 1 a perfect square? Yes. Is 16 a perfect square? Yes. Then see the sum and difference pattern here? So you had the 4 there. What's the square root of y squared? Y. Square root of 16? 4. Let's write this a little cleaner. So you have 4 times y plus 4, y minus 4. Now, you could have y minus 4, y plus 4. That order doesn't matter, so you're good there. Now, the other option you had was 1 times negative 16 is negative 16, and b is 0. What multiplies a times c is negative 16, adds to 0. Okay? But the big hint that it's probably two perfect squares, because that's the only time you can add to 0, is when there's only 2 terms. So look at number 2 here. First thing I would check is, can I factor by 9, or factor out the 9? But the answer to that's no. So, but I know 9's a perfect square. I know 289's a perfect square. So it's the difference of two perfect squares. So what's the square root of 9? X squared, 3x. So 3x plus square root of 289, 17. 3x minus 17. See, guys, this is why I'm telling you, you need to recognize perfect squares. So go ahead and press pause, try number 3. Hopefully you did. But guess what? Factor the polynomials. X squared. What's 1 times 49? 49. They are two perfect squares. But is there anything that multiplies to positive 49 and adds to 0? No. So it can't be factored. So you're done. No factoring. Okay? So let's try some more. So here you can treat it just like the other ones we've been doing. AC method. So 1 times 4 is 4. So try to do the first two, actually. Press pause. Try to do the first two. So hopefully you tried it, but just like the other ones, there's only one step at the end that you might not have remembered to think of here. So 1 times 4 is 4. What multiplies to 4 and adds to 4? Well, 2 and 2. So h plus 2, h plus 2. What is that, though? H plus 2 squared. Okay? Now this one, you could have gotten a couple different ways, but at the end we need to have the same answer. Now here's the thing. The first thing I notice is 2, 20, and 50 are all even. So I'm going to factor out the 2. Now, 1 times 25 is 25. B is negative 10. So you got to ask, what multiplies to 25 and adds negative 10? Well, negative 5, negative 5. So you have 2y minus 5 squared. These need to be our final answers here. So press pause, try 6 again now. Double check it. The first thing I notice, 3. That gives me x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. I know this can be a little more difficult, but here's the thing. I don't think about this as y squared. How many y squared do I have? 1. So instead of that, think about it this way in your head. So now I look up at the top there and I say 1 times 1 is 1, 2. So what multiplies to 1 and adds to 2? Well, 1 and 1. Now this is where we have to make the connection here. So you have the 3, you have x. But see how we said 1 and 1? But instead of 1, it's 1y. 1y. So that would be 3 times x plus y squared. Remember to check to see if you can factor something out, guys. Okay? Please remember that. See how much helpful that was for those two? Alright. So here's the 2 problems you need to get done for tonight. Bring them in completed, please.